Hello and welcome back to another video on Serious About Salvage. We have another new arrival, a lovely 430i. I did mention it in a previous video, and this is not a flood car. This is a normal crash salvage vehicle, but I didn't buy this from the auction. I managed to get this directly from the guy who had the accident. The insurance paid out, offered it him back for a reasonable price, and I bought it from him for profit. Obviously he got a bit of profit out of it. So I mean, it goes without saying, if any of you guys are unfortunate enough to actually be in an accident, depending what car it is, do send me a message, because a lot of the times you do get offered these vehicles back at very reasonable prices, and I'll be more than happy, if it works for us both, to give you some extra money on top. I'll collect the car from wherever it is and you'll be hassle free. Yeah, basically that's the best way to do it, because once it gets to auction, it gets offered out to thousands of people at auction, doesn't it? And the price just goes up and up and up. So you get a better deal, I'll get a better deal, everyone's happy. Anyway, 430i, I'm going to show you the damage, and you will not believe the actual insurance quote to repair this car. It was quite astonishing actually. So we'll spin around and we'll have a look at it. So it is a 16 plate. It's obviously the 2 litre petrol. With it being the 430, it's the higher output, so it's 250, I think they are, 250 horse. It's an M Sport, rear wheel drive, 8-speed auto, and basically, other than a tiny bit at the back, this is the issue. The suspension has completely collapsed. It snapped the hub's flopped off the strut, and the wheel's obviously gone up into the arch and just done a little bit of damage to the arch there. Definitely repairable. Not 100% decided what to do with that. On the rear, you'll notice, or you might not notice, no, you can't tell now, it's off the floor. But with it on the floor, the wheel ends up a bit cockeyed. One of the bolts is sheared on one of the control arms, so we're going to have a look at that as well at some point. Both tyres on this side, I've got holes in the sidewall. Now, from what I understand, the guy went through a very, very big pothole, and it destroyed that suspension and did damage to the rear. I've had a look over it, and the steering rack seems fine. There doesn't seem to be anything else. I'm not even convinced them arms are bent, but we're going to change them anyway. Let me get a torch for you. I remember where I put it. Everything's a little bit all over the place at the moment. I've got so many cars I'm trying to work through, mainly because, well, this for one of them, this was an unexpected purchase. But I've also got 2 other cars that I've bought for people. So I've got 3 cars extra than I would have normally had. So I've got a bit of a problem at the minute with space. But this one, I think, is going to be very, very easy. So yeah, basically what happened, this guy's had this accident. They've given him they've written it off because the repair was deemed too expensive. Which I'll tell you in a minute how much it was. He's bought it back, I bought it off him, here it is. So on the quote, one of the parts was a steering rack, and that steering rack was £2,500. Now I can't see anything wrong with this steering rack at the moment. I'm not going to say there isn't, but at the moment I can't see anything wrong with it. So the problem these insurers have is they've got to make sure the car goes back in at least, or if not better condition as it went. And when these cars get sent to somewhere to be assessed, they've got to make sure they cover absolutely every possible avenue of damage, so that when they do get to the point of stripping it and more, anything they come across is covered in the quote. So I understand them going way over with the quote. It's not a surprise, but I'm hoping to do it a lot less, obviously. Other side of the car, we don't have any damage. This wheel's fine. Down the side, all fine. That wheel's fine. There's no damage to the back of the car. It's relatively clean. It's got nice I mean, the camera, the same again, it's making these seats look really, really bright, and they're not. They're quite a dark red. It's on the camera, what you're seeing, it looks horrible. Bright red with black. It's not, it's very dark. It's quite dark, the red in this car. It looks really good in person. I was concerned when I saw the pictures, it made it look like you're seeing on the camera, but in person it looks a lot better. Right, it's 8-speed auto. It's got the bigger nav screen in it. It's got 55,000 miles on it, I think. Look. 55, yeah. It runs, it's not dropped any coolant, it's not dropped any oil. It's actually, yeah, it's a good one. And I'm glad to see as well, all the parts they have removed, they've left in the back of the car. Like side skirt, all the splash guards, because there ain't going to be anything wrong with them. Underskirts, all that kind of stuff, it all adds up. So on the face of it, really, right now, it's looking at like suspension corner, 100% 2 tyres, possibly 2 wheels, which we're going to assess at some point. And then the situation with the wing, whether I replace the wing in colour or I get it repaired and painted. I'd rather replace it, but we're going to straighten it up and see what it looks like. Nothing else seems to be of an issue. We're going to have to obviously put a question mark on the rear yet until we pull that apart. There's a couple of little marks on the car. There's a little ding there. Nothing a dent man won't get out. You see it there. And I've noticed one on the bonnet as well, very similar. Again, they haven't broke the paint. They haven't broke the paint. Dent man would very easily get them out. And the car is nice. Yeah, it's very nice. So the plan right now is to get on this suspension corner and just get it on the floor and moving. Even on 2 flat tyres, it doesn't matter. I can't keep cars on this ramp over a long period of time, so I've got to get them moving. And then when it's moving, obviously we will assess the rear suspension as well whilst it's on the ramp, but I just want to get it moving over here, make sure the gearbox all works and everything, and then have a good look over the rest of it and decide exactly what else it needs. I want to give it a good wash as well, because it's very, very dirty. So, I mean, part of the dismantling has been done for us, as you can see. So we'll just undo the bottom arm off the subframe there. We'll undo the other bottom arm off the subframe there. Disconnect a couple of wires. And obviously the tyre end. All that will come off. And then it'll just be the top of the strut, like usual. And that'll all be cleared out in pretty quick fashion, really, I would have thought. So let's get it all stripped out. We're going to have a look at the mountings and stuff, make sure there's nothing more serious going on, and take it from there. Okay, it's all off, that front passenger corner now. And these are our bits. Obviously the strut, well, you can see yourself, it's got a massive bulge in the side of it. That's absolutely knackered. Springs even come out of the top mount. Jump sideways. This could be perfectly fine. The hub, as you would have saw on the car, it's snapped off. But also that arm is severely bent, whereas this one is straight. So yeah, making progress. The wheel, I don't know about the wheel yet. That's the big hole in the sidewall. But these really need to go over to my brother's and put on the balancer, as that'll show me then if they're straight. But in terms of physical damage, I can't. I mean, obviously it's a bit scraped up where it's been running against the strut. But I can't see any cracks right now. Can't really see any flat spots either. Need to give it a good wash really. Like I said, take it over to my brother's tyre machine and check it. So you can spin on there on the balancing machine, and you can see then if there's any wobbles in it or anything like that. In terms of the car, there is nothing structural. All this top of the turret's all absolutely spot on, and inside here the subframes are steel on these, so there's not a mark on it. That's obviously your front mounting point. That's the rear mounting point. They're not bent, they're not moved, so nothing really but the turret. There's a few scrapes and whatnot where things have been rubbing, but no actual damage anywhere. Not that I can see anyway. So that's all good. So put all this back in one piece. Put the strut up first, fix it through the turret, and that'll take the weight to it then. It's just the two arms, and then we can build the brakes back up. Connect the wheel speed sensor. Yeah. Shouldn't take too long really. Right, I'll try and do a bit of camera in on this one, see if I can get you in there. Let's get it back together. Well, update time. It's been a few days actually since I fit the strut and the hub, but that all went to plan. That's all in there, all fastened up, all fixed up, all tight. And the wheel, I've tried a wheel on it, it's all central. The only thing I haven't put in here is the drop link, because I didn't have one. There's no drop link in there at the moment, but there will be today, in the video. Obviously, basically I've got a drop link over there, that's what I'm trying to say. And also you'll see I've taken off the wing. That's because I did decide to get a wing. It was the right thing to do. I don't want to put any paint on this car. It's very hard matching paint, no matter who you take it to. It's an hard thing to do. I didn't want to paint half of this side just for this wing, so I managed to find one in colour. Good condition. There it is. So I'm happy with that. I mean, it wasn't cheap. It was £245, but I mean, to get it painted and you're not going to be far off that anyway. It's a shame really, because that's all the damage there, that little bit, but yeah, we've got another wing. So I'm in the process of fitting that now, and I've also dealt with the tyres. I've got the 3 tyres there all sorted with replacement tyres on. I've got oil filter, I've got the anti-roll bar I've just mentioned, and I've got, I presume it's in the Febby box, so let's have a look. I've got the control arm, I need a knife, for the rear, and the important thing was that I had to get a control arm with new fixings, new bolts basically, because mine had snapped. So fingers crossed. That's my control arm, and they are my new bolts. So that's good. It's exactly what I wanted. So basically what I'm trying to say is I've got everything here to finish this car. It is in for MOT tomorrow, so we need to get the wing on, which allows us then to refit the side skirt, which, like I said, I looked at it, there's no damage on it. I've already put quite a few of the under trays back in and started putting this arch liner in. Everything's here, everything's complete. The only question mark I've got, and I think I've already decided, to be honest with you, I'm thinking about buying the M Performance trim bits for this 430. Joe, like the blue 220 has the black spoiler along the front. It has the little black extensions on the arches, and it's got a little lip on the boot. I'm thinking of buying all them for it. You also get a different diffuser for the back as well. I think it will make it look just that little bit better. It looks nice anyway, but I mean, the kit, obviously this isn't a genuine BMW M Performance kit, but you can get them with gloss black. Oh, and also it also changes these from chrome to gloss black, your kidney grills. The whole kit's £300, and I think it really will enhance the look of the car. So it's not like, they're not like a boy racer kit. I think they're subtle, but they're not, you know, they make a difference at the same time. I really do think they look better. And for the sake of £300, I think it's really worth it. So I'm going to put that question to you guys basically. Should I get the M Performance trim bits for this 430i? And if I do, I'll make another video just fitting them. I don't think it'll take very long at all. They literally just stick on with double-sided tape, and some screws go up from the bottom just to hold them in place so they can't fall off. But we could probably make a little video doing it if that's what you want to see. So put in the comments, do you think I should put M Performance kit on this car? Like I said, if you're not sure what it'll look like, have a look at the 220 I did, or just Google 430i M Performance and it'll show the bits of trim extra that I mean. But for now, yeah, we've got everything really to get this car MOT'd. So I'm going to fit this wing and throw the drop link in that corner at the same time, and then we're going to have a look at the rear wheel situation and how we're going to get that bolt in. Yeah, let's continue. that's the front corner done. And then on to the back. So I've removed the old arm. I think it's obvious which one's which, but that's the old, that's the new. If you look just on this section here, see it's a bit bent round compared to the new one. And like I said, more critically, it has snapped this bolt, which might look plain and simple, but the threads for a 14, I think it's 14, for a 14 mil, the threads quite wide apart. I don't know what the word is, but we've got new ones, that's good. I'll just show you quickly where it goes. But also I've missed another bit of damage as well. There's another arm that's a little bit bent, unfortunately, and it is that one there at the top. Same again, the end's just bent over a bit. It's a little bit annoying, I didn't see that because I'm going to have to get one of them in the morning now. It's easy enough to change, it only goes back to there. Bolts are easily accessible, but I'll have to get one of them now in the morning before the MOT. Luckily it's not till 2 o'clock. But this one basically goes in there, to swap arms, and then just have to wiggle it up somewhere like that. Obviously the bolts will align it properly, and that'll do that one. And yeah, like I said, so we can still get to this one easily enough. That's easier to get to than that. I'll probably whip it off tonight, so it's ready. It'll just be a 10-minute job to throw it back in tomorrow. But a bit annoying, I've missed that. But luckily I have seen it, because I can't for a second think that that's supposed to be like that. There's no way, is there? Don't think we can see into the other side. Can't see it fully, but I'm going to say it looks straight to me. But yeah, we're going in the right direction at least. So I'll get this. Like I said, I'll get this one bolted up. Probably whip out the other one, and this can just stay on the ramp tonight, can't it? The only thing I can't do with it on the ramp is put the side skirt on. So it's a little bit annoying. So maybe I'll just leave that arm in, just to throw a wheel on it and run it just onto the floor over there. We can jock it back up, we can then put the side skirt on it, then at least that's on ready. You can go back on the ramp, then I'll whip the wheel off, whip the arm out, and yeah, at least we're closer for tomorrow. Just in case something else happens and I don't have as much time as I expect. There's one less thing to do with the side skirt, isn't there? Yeah, so I'm going to get this arm in off camera. It's a bit dark without the torch in here, and there's not a lot of room, but we will recommence, hopefully, over on the floor over here, and we'll put that side skirt back on, and the M trim for the sill. I must remember I've got that rear arm cover to put on as well. But we're getting there. Oh, in the end it got to the point last night where there was no point putting a temporary bolt in the arm. It's now obviously the next day. I've been and got the arm, and the new arm is in there. You can't see it, it's too dark. But basically we've got the last piece of the puzzle, underskirt, and a little trim for the door sill. So that's what we're going with next. This hopefully should just click back in place, because they did do a good job removing it. They haven't broke any of the clips. It's all still perfect. So that should just click in place. And then you've got a series of little plastic screws go up underneath. That piece goes into the door sill, where you're going to have some more holes. Yep, there. Where I don't know if this plugs in there yet, because this obviously does go down and clip into that as well, doesn't it? Yeah. So we're going to put this on now. And I'm going to plonk you up here. And you can see just how easy it should be. Famous last words and all that. So I think the bottom goes inside the under tray, so I'll make sure I get that under there. And then just getting it lined up basically is going to be the key, I think. That should now just hit in place, which it has done. And like I said, you got a load of little plastic screws up underneath that I've now got to get in. It should hold it all then snug. Like so. Let's get a couple in. Stop that there. So I can put them in off camera. And then so that's going to go there, there. So perhaps we have got little plugs that sit in there. I'm going to guess are these. That's all I seem to have left anyway. I'm going to guess like that. That's a bigger one. That one doesn't match, or that one. Oh, I've got one more. Yes. And then fingers crossed this will just click in, no? There you go. Ta-da! Spot on. So I've got them few little bits of screws underneath, and as long as this bonnet shuts nicely, we are good for the MOT, which is today as well. So what I will do is just go off and get it MOT'd now, and then we'll come back and just close out the video, have a look around it, and I think we'll be back to put that M Performance kit, I think. Yeah, spot on. Right, I'll update you after the MOT. Right, so how much did the insurance quote to repair this 430i? Well, first of all, let's just go through exactly what we've had to do. So we've had to replace the whole suspension corner for this passenger front corner. We've replaced the wing We have replaced 3 tyres, and I checked the wheels on the balancer. They're still straight, they don't have a wobble in them, so they're fine. They do want a refurb, but the refurb, I mean, they would have been in this state already, you know, so that's not part of the crash. We've replaced 2 control arms on the rear. Track rear end, I've refit all the under trays, but they were all, you know, at a good standard. There was no damage to this side skirt. I'm struggling to think what else. Yes, we've got a few marks on the bumper. It could do with being dealt with, but like I said, I've got that. I'm gonna, well, I want to put that M-Performance kit on it, which should sort most of that out. But in terms of just getting it back on the road in a decent state, that's literally all we've done. So in terms of money, what have I spent? £800 to get it to this point. Now obviously, I know obviously insurers will put brand new parts on, they charge a lot of labour, they wanted 2 new wheels, you know, I think the wheels were quoted at £600 each, so it's £1,200 in wheels. We've already mentioned the steering rack, that was £2,500. So you know, you got 3,700 just in them 3 items. Tyres are going to be brand new, Joe, top of the line, £200 each tyres. I put very good makes on, don't get me wrong, but they are just, the part ones, they're almost like new, but they're just part ones. But they've got Pirelli P0s on front, and I've stuck with the Michelin pilots on the back, because obviously one of them was fine. Oh no, sorry, Goodyear Eagle, F1. So I just matched this one to the back. But like I said, loads of tread on them. But yeah, obviously, like I said, insurers have to go over the top, they have to make it perfect. So the insurance quote, £11,600 and some change. £11,500 to put this car back to the standard it was before the crash, better than the standard it was before the crash. It sounds like a lot of money, doesn't it? It really does, but like I said, bear in mind, you will quite easily rack up them kind of bills. When you're paying, you know, £80, £100 an hour labour rates, and you're buying brand new parts from BMW, it does quite easily get to that point. I mean, one of the entries was they listed all the parts for the suspension individually, and then there's an entry of £300 just for the fixings, just for the bolts, to bolt all the arms on and stuff like that. So you can see how it does get that high that quick, but it is quite astonishing, isn't it, really? I'm not beating on insurance companies here at all, by the way. I'm just showing you, just explaining how they get to these prices and why these cars are written off, really, when on the face of it, Joe, someone like me or you can repair it with second-hand parts, you know, can put part-worn tyres on. That's perfectly fine for us to do, and we save a hell of a lot of money doing that. But insurers can't do that. They've got to go brand new, and like I said, it's the labour probably kills it. So there you go, £11,500, and that's it, back from the MOT with a pass and 0 advisories. I've thrown a bucket of water over it as well, just to clean it up a little bit and give it a bit more of an impression of how it looks on camera, because it was very dirty. It's come out well, actually. It's still wet, so needs to let it dry, but I haven't seen anything else other than them three little dings that we have seen already. One of them is just there. There's the one on the bonnet here, and the other one is on this door, probably the worst of the lot. There, it's hard to make out. I will get the dent man out to deal with them. I'm pretty sure he'll be able to sort them all. There's no cracks in the paint, and they're accessible areas. Other than that, the car does look really nice. Drives fine, no issues, runs well, fully MOT'd, serviced, And yeah, I need to make this decision now on this M Performance kit. If you're not quite sure what I'm on about, I'll just put a little picture up now of a black 430 with the kit on, just to try and show you what I mean. But like I said before, different rear diffuser, little skirt extensions, little spoiler. It has the extension for the lower bottom end of the bumper, and it changes the chrome grills to gloss black. I personally think it'll look good with it on, but yeah, put in the comments what you think. And yeah, the only thing then really that's going to let this car down a bit is the alloys. They're not great. The front ones are quite severely curbed, really, quite severely curbed. Yeah, but depending on whoever wants it, whether they want something doing with them, and we can come to some kind of a agreement, deal. I'm not too sure what I'm going to do about them alloys. Me personally, it doesn't bother me that much, but I know some people they like clean alloys, don't they? So yeah, all done. Finitoed. Runs great as well. It's nice and warm in here now. Yeah, got the reversing camera. The professional media. You've seen all this before, I'm sure. Yeah, I like it. Vehicle status, you got all your tyre pressures. Check control, it's going to be, yeah, I need to put a new battery in the fob. It's on reserve fuel and the washer fluid's low. But no other faults. Sounds nice as well. And if you put it into Sport Plus, does pop a little bit. Don't know if you can make that out on the camera or not, but I like it actually. It's a nice car. Right then, that's going to be it for this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Good little fix, and like I said earlier, if any of you people do happen to have an accident, first of all I hope you're okay, and if you are offered your car back as a buyback, do get in touch, because just for example, I gave the guy an extra £1,000 plus his buyback to get this, and I went and collected it myself, so there's no legwork by the person who owned it. He had to obviously tell his insurance he wanted it back, and I paid him the buyback plus £1,000, and then he pays the buyback, pockets £1,000, and I go and collect the car. It's as simple as that, really. Like I said, works out for him, works out for me. And I mean, even if you want to buy them back and fix them, and I'd be interested in perhaps fixing it, I don't know, do send us an email. Always on the lookout for cars, and enjoyed this one. It's been a nice easy one, a good one. So yeah, put in the comments, M Performance or no M Performance. Oh, it's got memory seats. Got memory seats. And yeah, I haven't cleaned out the inside, but the other key's on its way for this car as well, so there are 2 keys with it. There is some services to do with it. It's a cracker, really. Good car. Anyway, thank you as always for watching. Massively appreciated. I hope you've enjoyed. If you have, big thumbs up. Drop any comments in the bottom. And don't forget to subscribe. Really appreciate it. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.